Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to our spring concert. We're going to move on with our concert band. So before us, we see about 30 of our top concert musicians right now. The Symphonic band is everyone, and this is our audition group right here. So this group, we've not had a group like this in a long time, is actually 1 to apart. So no one is doing the exact same thing. Everyone has their own individual responsibilities. We had a very successful festival season this semester. For those of you that aren't aware, we go to festival as a formative assessment. In music, we get evaluated by a panel of music educators, judges, who have a rubric, and if we're meeting that rubric, we get graded. Grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 being the best. 1 we call a superior. Both of our groups did receive superiors throughout the season, and that automatically, statistically within Southern California at District Festival, which is the ones that anyone can go to, only about 10% of ensembles earn a superior, so that's already elite company. From that superior rating, you can go to a regional festival, which is a little bit harder of a grading system, and both of our groups, the concert band and Symphonic band, did go to regional festival and did earn unanimous superior at those 2 events. So statistically, we're going to switch to that puts us within the top 2 to 5% of all music ensembles in Southern California. So this is a pretty solid group. And like Nico had mentioned with that crunch time thing, our spring break fell with this concert in a really odd time. And there was a piece that this group had to learn in about 9 days. Once we came back from spring break, I threw something at them and they needed to prepare it for a festival last week. And it was a challenging piece, and they did still earn a superior with that. So the first piece that we're going to be playing is The Honor Dead, and this is one that was our time crunch. So that piece, Daughter Dead, many of us have heard of John Philip Sousa, who is considered to be our American March King. That was actually the second piece he ever wrote, and it was performed for President Grant's funeral way back in 1885, so it was really old music. But through what we do, there's a thing that the President's own United States Marine Corps Band, which is the President's own group, they do this educational series every March that coincides with March Madness. They call it March Mania, and so we listen to marches every day, and you vote on them, and there's a winner at the end of it. And so this march was the winner for last year's competition. That's how we ended up listening to it, and they wanted to do it. So we did it there. Next, there's a piece called Let All Mortal Flesh Keep Silence, which sounds really heavy metal, but it's actually a really soft, quiet, old French melody. Here we go. So concert band's last piece is called Sol y Sombra, which is technically a paso doble. A paso doble is a Spanish dance. Those of us who watch Dancing with the Stars know that most of those dances are paso dobles, and I talk about that. But it's also considered a Spanish march. But in Spain, they actually treat it more like a dance. And Sol y Sombra, in the program notes, is talking about sun and shade. And this is actually depicting the arena of a bullfight, because your ticket price is based off of if you're sitting in the sun with the cheap seats or in the shade with the pricey seats. And so this whole thing has been an exciting adventure, because every time we've gone to a festival and someone hears it, they're very appreciative that we've exposed them to this, because we don't play a lot of paso dobles here in California. They're kind of predominantly played either in Spain and sometimes in Texas. But these kids have fallen in love with this piece, and I think you will too. All right, so we're gonna allow a few minutes of transition as we bring our symphonic band students on stage for their 3 pieces. The third piece of the symphonic band program will be the baton option. For those of you who have been to one of our concerts before, that means one of you will have the opportunity to come up here and conduct these fine students. So give us a few moments as those students make their way on stage. Thank you. Also, I'd like to acknowledge our administrators here in the room. I know that Mr. House, Mr. Fowler,